This is Valley News Live at noon.
It's the first of two first alert weather days with a risk of hail, flooding, and even possible tornadoes. Here's a look at our Skycam right now. This is facing west of the metro. Just gray skies. Hard to even tell that we're looking at the sky right here with all of kind of the soupy mess that's going on. We want to head on over to Summer Schnellbach right away this afternoon with the very latest on what you can expect. Good afternoon, Summer.
Good afternoon, Jordan, and thank you all for joining us. You can see just the haze that's in the sky. It's another warm and humid start to our day after some rain and storms moved through yesterday. 78 degrees. The airport is indicating sun. There might be a break of sun right above that sensor, but you can see we're dealing with some fairly gray skies. 78 degrees with that humidity at 74%. So it's going to feel a little sticky as you're stepping outside. Here is a loop through the overnight hours, and we were expecting some strong to severe storms, but they actually kind of collapsed and fell apart as they moved across the valley through the early morning hours. But there were some strong storms in northern Minnesota that produced some damage. Morning storm damage in Mahnomen, Minnesota. You can see a big tree knocked down. Here's another view of that same tree. You can see just how thick that tree trunk is, just snapped, and that tree fallen. Right now we're looking at a lot quieter conditions as those showers continue to exit. But the better chance for some strong and severe storms is going to come late tonight. So our first alert weather day does continue for an expected round 2 later today. Jordan, I'll time it out in your hour-by-hour forecast and where to expect those impacts coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but it really feels like you're swimming when you walk out the door right now.
It does. It's just kind of sticky.
Yeah, not great. All right, Summer, thank you this afternoon. Speaking of the weather, hail and heavy wind did some damage in the Northern Valley. People in Middle River, Minnesota of Marshall County, just north of Thief River Falls, were hit hard yesterday. Power poles were damaged, as you saw earlier. Some of them snapped in half, and then some spots saw hail this big. That's about 1.25 inches in diameter. One viewer reports broken windows and siding that's damaged from the hail as well. Heavy winds also snapped limbs off of trees. It is a first alert weather day with more storms taking aim potentially at the valley, as Summer said. New at noon, a 6-year-old child who's fighting for their life after a reported drowning. It happened at Saturday at a Holiday Inn in Alexandria, Minnesota. When responders arrived, the child had been pulled out of the pool and CPR had been started. That child was then taken to Alamere Health in critical condition. We have new information on a deadly crash near New York Mills, Minnesota. The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office now identified the victim as 47-year-old Tracy Frost. The crash happened Friday morning around this intersection on your screen. 2 vehicles were involved. The other driver is expected to be okay. Police say the investigation is ongoing, but alcohol or drugs do not appear to be a factor in that crash. The FAA is investigating a crash at the Minot International Airport. Authorities say a student pilot, 24-year-old Jonas Nava, was unable to get the aircraft fully in the air yesterday. That plane crashed on the runway and was heavily damaged. Nava was taken to a local hospital to be treated for his injuries. One woman is hurt following a crash with a semi earlier this morning. The Minnesota State Patrol says it happened at the intersection of County Road 17 and Highway 2 near East Grand Forks. The report says 54-year-old Robin Noska of Crookston, Minnesota, did not yield for the semi and hit the back of it. She was taken to the Grand Forks Hospital but is expected to be okay. The driver of the semi was not hurt. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol say rioters were stoked to act by President Donald Trump's insistence that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. Today, the committee is making the case that the president knew that there was no evidence to support what they call the big lie.
Donald Trump lost an election and knew he lost an election, and as a result of his loss, decided to wage an attack on our democracy.
The former president's campaign manager, Bill Stepien, was scheduled to testify but withdrew due to a family emergency. Witnesses are also called to testify about the former president's response to the election results. The House Select Committee will hold another hearing Wednesday with the former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen scheduled to testify then. North Dakota voters head to the polls tomorrow for the state's primary election. Among the local races are Fargo Mayor, Fargo City Commission, and the Fargo School Board. On a county and district level, voters will choose a Cass County Sheriff and state legislators. Statewide races include U.S. Senator and U.S. House of Representatives. Again, it's the primary, so to figure out who will go to the general election in November. We'll be offering all-day election coverage at Valley News Live tomorrow. You can also get the latest on our VNL News app. Later at noon, Working to Remember. A couple from the Northern Valley explains how they're fighting back against Alzheimer's. But next, more severe weather as we head into the afternoon. Summer Schnellbach lets us know what to expect.